one day in the basement of one of them's house. It was one of the saddest moments of my life as a little boy. I mean, just, you 11 years old and stuff, and you just left them. But they sitting up there sniffing glue, and one of them just took, shooting this gun, shooting this thing, and the bullet never, just shooting all the time. Pull it, line it up, shooting it, and it never would go off. Sitting up down in the basement, and one of them took this gun, one of them, the two best friends. I'm talking about, when I talk about these two brothers was best friends, you couldn't see one without the other. And set up there and point that gun at that man's head, playing with them guns. And that bullet went off. Hit him straight in his forehead. 17 years old. Killed him instantly. The best friend lost his mind. He would be walking down the street just talking to himself. One of the best basketball players, athletes, lost it. Playing with guns. Let me tell you something about this. Don't play with this. Don't play with this. Don't get up and be fooling with this and preaching this and prophesying this. Don't play with this. This will kill you. They've got some guns they say backfire. This will backfire on you. Now pay attention. Y'all listening? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to scare you. Literally. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to scare you. Because folk don't fear God no more. Do you know God is a consuming fire? The Bible said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but on the seventh day is the Sabbath. Now I know folk, man, even though I believe in it, there's folks that don't believe in it. There's folks that you that know it's right, but you don't walk in it because you hang around folk that don't believe in it. And anytime you hang around folk that don't believe in something, you can't really righteously believe in it anymore. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. And in it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. 11th verse. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them is, and what? Watch this, and rested on the seventh day. Say, wherefore, because of this, the Lord, what? Blessed the Sabbath day and did what to it? He hallowed it. He made it holy. He made it something special about this day that's different than any other day. But remember this. To the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 1. Deuteronomy 8 and 1. Be out of here in just a minute. A couple of scriptures. We'll be out of here. It won't take much. Not a whole lot of really in-depth reading. He said, all the commandments which I command you this day shall you observe to do. Got that base down somewhere in the graphic when we made it. So. Shall you observe to do, that you may what? That you may live and multiply and go in and possess, right there. Possess the land which the Lord sware where? Now I want you to remember all the commandments which I command you this day, that to observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers. Now, second verse says, and thou shalt what? Now there that word is again. There it is again. Now please pay attention. I want you to remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee, to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or what? I want you to remember all the way that the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness. To the book of Psalms, chapter 77, verse 11. Psalm 77, verse 11. I want you to remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness. to humble thee, to prove thee, to see what is in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. Psalms chapter 77, verse 11. I will what? David says, I will do what? Was it David? It was one of Asaph's. Asaph said, I will do what? I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember the wonders of what? I will remember the wonders of what? I will reconnect. There's certain things I would connect. I would remember the things of what? Of old. The wonders, thy wonders of old. To the book, and I'm going to read this one. I didn't have it wrote down, but I'm going to read this one. In the book of Isaiah chapter 43. And then we're going to go to Isaiah 46. Isaiah 43. Bear with me. I'm preaching to me today. I'm telling Darryl McCoy something. Is that all right? Look at your neighbor and say, he's talking to himself today. Isaiah 43 and verse 18. Isaiah 43 verse 18. Here it is again. Say what? Remember what? Wait a minute. Now, you've been telling me to remember, but now you're telling me not to remember. You told me to remember the wonders of old. You told me to remember, but now you're saying, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of. Well, now I know you ain't the author of confusion. I know you're not the author of confusion in telling me not to remember. You just told me to remember, but it's something he told you to remember, and it's something he told you not to remember. Remember ye not the former things. Look, somebody say things. He told you to remember the wonders, but now he's telling you don't remember the former things. To the 46th chapter, and one more scripture after that, Isaiah 46, and begin reading to you from verse 8. If you got it, say amen. He said, remember this. Look at somebody say, remember this. And show yourselves men and bring it again to the mind. Bring it again to mind. All ye transgressors. Remember what? You just got finished telling me not to remember. But you got to watch and pay close attention. I told you don't remember. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. But remember the former things of old. And now they got an exclamation.